Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve. And as you know, it's no secret that in recent years, there's been a growing appetite for conservative viewpoints and values. We technically call it re traditionalization, right? As the woke agenda becomes more prevalent, patriots are pushing back and making a huge difference. Now, it's easy to sit back and watch the wins of others and cheer on those who are leading the charge. But I got to ask the question, what about you? What are you doing to make a difference? What about your viewpoint? What about your voice? What about sharing your values? What can you do to help build this massive momentum and ride the red wave? Well, I'm here joined once again with Joanna Hunt, New York Times bestselling ghostwriter, book strategist, and founder of Silversmith Press, a conservative publishing house that supports and promotes the timeless values of faith, family, and freedom. And she's helped Turley Talkers just like you write and publish their own books. And I'm not kidding. Lots of them. You ready for that? These were all written by Turley Talkers just like you out there. And she could do the same for you. Joanna's absolutely amazing. She proves that time and time again. I couldn't be more proud. Literally, I'm serious. I could not possibly be more proud of this audience for stepping up and putting their message out there into the world. And Joanna's the one that can help you do exactly that. Now, if you're interested in learning more about how Joanna can help you get your message published with a conservative publishing house, just click on that link in the description below for an exciting free event that Joanna's hosting. So, Joanna, welcome back. It's been too long. We were just talking about it before we went live here, but it's been way too long. Welcome back.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Turley. The pleasure is all mine. I always love being on live with you and discussing current events, topics that are near and dear to me as an American and as a patriot, and helping to amplify the conservative voice. We each have a role to play, and I'm excited to say more and more in mainstream entertainment, we're seeing that demand, aren't you?
Yeah, it is. It's incredible. And we're seeing it all over the place, right? We've seen this huge shift in recent years where more and more people are rejecting the woke. So there's the boycott, but
Yeah.
then there's the boycott. They're demanding good, timeless, solid conservative themes and messages in their entertainment. So the obvious question is you run the conservative publishing house. Is that what you're seeing?
Oh, absolutely, Dr. Turley. And when people come to me, that sometimes they think, well, what can I do to really make a difference? And so I say, well, step back and let's look at what's going on because, of course, the news is always going to be the news.
Right.
Social media silos are always going to feed us what the algorithms want to feed us. But if we use our power of observation and we step back and we say, okay, what movies have been performing the best? Where is the
Right.
demand? We saw Song of Freedom, Top Gun outperformed tons of woke liberal movies that were out
Yeah.
there as well. And people want conservative messages. They want it in books. They want it in movies. They want it in music. Parents are becoming more involved in what their kids are seeing and hearing. And so this is our time to shine. This is our time to step up, let our voices be heard, let that message that's been nagging in your heart come out and be a part of the answer and be a part of speaking truth for sure.
I love it. We've often said being a patriot is not a spectator sport, right? We don't sit back and watch the wins, and then say, okay, well, it's being handled. That's fine. I don't. No, we only get the wins because we're all coming together to make a difference. Don't you think?
No, absolutely. So we vote with our dollars, but
Mm,
we also can never underestimate the power of our own influence and what happens when we take a stand. I was raised in church and I love the Bible story of David and Goliath, which sometimes we feel that way as patriots. But
yeah.
after David stepped up and he took out Goliath, it says that he rushed the battlefield. And you know what
Yes.
happened?
Yeah.
All of the armies that were afraid and just hanging out in the back rushed with him. And so I just want to encourage everyone watching, don't sit here and think, oh, what can I do? I'm just one person. No, when you start running towards the vision and running towards the battle, you're going to influence everyone who is behind you. And so that's one of the things I encourage my authors. When people come to me, they a lot of times they've had this inner nagging. They've had, they want to let their voice be heard, and voices are being silenced in so many other areas. And that's why I'm so honored to work with you and your team and your audience to say, no, let me help you amplify the conservative voice. Because as a publisher, we're a full service publisher. So we're not just putting you on one tech platform, we're putting you everywhere books are sold on 40,000 platforms. So
Wow.
this is a great, great joy to be able to bring this type of opportunity to your audience and to encourage people to get their voice out there.
It's so awesome. I mean, when you sent me these wonderful books, and this is just a sampling, isn't it? This is not.
Yes.
This is just a sampling of it. But shall we give some shout outs here?
Yes, let's do it.
We've got, and you've got a stack there as well. We've got Scattered, a time travel novel by Catherine Benfonte or Benfonte. I hope I'm
Yes,
saying the
Ben
names right.
Fonte. So
Benfonte.
this is a
So that
fiction
is,
story. Yeah. So we do both fiction and nonfiction.
in fact, make sure I get it in the camera there. We got, yeah, this is another one, and these covers are gorgeous. I mean, you can these are first class books. I mean, kudos to you. These are the page, the topography, the full the cover. These are absolutely beautiful. Silversmith Press. This is The Price. William Straub. The Price. Another, I believe.
Yep.
Oh, and you even have the pictures of the authors behind there. It's just amazing. Ooh, Trench 1915. I think we can figure out what that is. Jake Barrett.
Yes, a war fiction. One thing that I do tout, because my background has been in the industry and at the highest levels, I've worked with top five publishers and New York Times bestselling authors. What I tell people is that we bring you that top five feel. My partners have worked with
Yeah.
top five publishers. The people that do the design, the typesetting, they're all industry professionals that have been doing this for a long time. We're not just grabbing people off the streets and saying, make a book for us. We're making sure you get the very, very top
Yeah.
level, top quality, but with your freedom to
Yeah.
express your voice and your views
Yeah.
as a patriot. I love that. I've got one more that I want to brag on. That's
Yeah. Bring it.
actually two more that are nonfiction. This one is Time and Tides by Janet Mackey.
Gorgeous.
One man's battle for survival through the eyes of his wife. And this is just a really touching love story
Wow.
about
Wow.
walking through difficulty. And in this day and age, we've all had to walk through a lot of difficulty with our
Yeah,
loved ones. So
sure.
you'll be encouraged by that one. And then 7X Method, which is the truth about your body about food that you've never been told before. This is really interesting about the energy values of food and how different colors incite and support different systems of the body. So that's a really fascinating health
Amazing.
book as well. But I have so enjoyed working with your audience. And, a lot of times people have myths about book writing. They think, well, how can I make a difference? Well, somebody else has a book out there like mine. Maybe you have a book like one of these we've shown that you're thinking, does it matter? Well, one of the first things I do is I have all my authors do a little bit of research. What is the
Mhm.
conversation in the market? And truly, if we were to look at it from a business perspective, someone didn't say, well, there's already a McDonald's. So what's the point in doing another fast food restaurant? No, they said that's proof of concept. There's a
Yes.
market. Let me get in where the market is hot. So a lot of times where we see multiple books on the topic, that means there's a hot conversation and it's time to bring yours forward, because guess what? People who buy books buy books. I don't know about you, Dr. Turley, but I've never have enough books. I'm always going
No, they're consumables. That's right. It never stops. It never stops. And I was just at a YouTube conference and they were talking about Mr. Beast, the big YouTuber. Mr. Beast now has a whole line of burgers, the Beast Burger. I forget what it's even called. And that's exactly what I thought of. I thought of, that never would have happened if there weren't a McDonald's 70 years ago, whenever Ray Kroc, started it. That would never have happened. That was proof of concept. And now you just find your own particular variation that you just tap into a market that's already there. I love it.
That's it.
So
And that's
true.
what we do with books.
Yeah.
Find the conversation in the market, find your perspective, your voice. What do you need to add to that conversation? And nowadays, adding truth to the conversations is
Yeah.
really what's most important, and standing up authentically as yourself and in your voice. And so we all have influence that we can't deny. And so that's what makes writing a book so powerful.
It is, and it's life transformative for everyone involved. That's what's so cool about it. It's not just transformative for the reader; it's transformative for the author. It's for the person who's writing it. I mean, it's true. One book can change more lives than you ever imagined. That's it's ironic because and that's why I have such an emotional connection to what you're doing, because that's actually how I got started. I started writing. I started with a few different. Well, actually, started with blog posting back in the day, and then got started with a few different publishers. Then I started self-publishing because I just liked the control I had on it. And I've always said, I wish I knew you, whenever when was my first book, 14, 15 years ago. I wish I knew you back then. You would have saved me so much time and headache. But before I knew it, I was gaining an audience of people who were impacted by what I wrote. And then I just found that seeing my life, or what's in my heart, my mind, my imagination actually come out for other people to interact with. I mean, it's a dance, it's a communion. There's a reason why we're still reading Homer and Plato today, right? Or Christians we're called the people of the book. There's something about a book where one person's ideas come on a page and then get translated to someone else's ideas. It's just, there's nothing quite like it. It's one of the most transformative experiences we can have.
I absolutely agree 100%. And what's beautiful about a book, because you said you started with a blog post, there's all kinds of ways to get words out in the
Yeah.
digital world. But guess what's happening? Those things are getting changed. They're getting censored. They're getting pulled down. They're
Right.
getting blocked. But you know what? This book right here
Yep.
will last 100 years and
Yep.
no one can change it or tell you, this is different. I mean, the science changes, don't get me wrong. But my point is, nobody can censor a book that you have in your hand that you hand to somebody else.
Exactly.
And that's kind of our way to share the truth with people, is to put something in their hands that can't be erased, that can't be shut down, that can't be censored.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think, well, I don't know if I have time to write a book. We have all these myths about book writing. People think, oh, it has to take 20 years. Well, because of my background as a ghostwriter, I did not have the luxury to show up to my clients and say, well, I didn't have time to get it done, or I just got writer's block. No, I don't allow writer's block in my program. And I teach you strategies so that you don't have writer's block. Writer's block to me is simply lack of a plan and lack of preparation. And so if you have those two things, you can get your books done very quickly. I had one of my groups had 3 people who'd been trying to write a book for 20 years.
Wow.
And in their 12 weeks with me, they were about 90% finished. I give everybody a little window to kind of polish up their manuscripts, but they were mostly done within 12 weeks after trying to get done for 20 years. So it doesn't have to take a long time, and we can have a lot of fun. We're going to talk more about that in the free training, how to write and publish your book as fast as possible. If you are interested in that, there is a link below, publishandgo.com/Turley. I'm so excited about this event, Dr. Turley.
It's awesome, and you get a huge turnout. Like I said again, here you go, guys. This doesn't lie. These are Turley talkers, just like you, publishing it, and this is not even the whole thing. Joanna's got a whole bunch of guys still in the mix there. So all right, we click the link below. We sign up. But we have to wait. So what can we do? Wait for the free training. So what can we do today? If you have someone out there has a desire in their heart to make a difference, share their story, and influence the message of truth in society, what can they do right now?
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Turley, you touched on it earlier, that there's this whole dance of this idea of taking what's in your brain and what's in your heart and putting it into a product, creating something out of nothing, and then influencing people with it. And so people think that writing a book is an academic work, like, oh, I have fear of grammar. No, we have editors for that. Don't worry about your grammar. But it is definitely an emotional work. And
Right.
I
Right.
say, writing a book is a head trip. I will help you along the way. So, the first thing, what can someone do right now? They can look themselves in the mirror and say, writing a book is easy. Oh,
Yes.
oh my goodness. Who tells
Yes.
you that? Writing
Yes.
a book is easy. So that's what I make all of my authors start by saying, because we've told ourselves that it's hard for so long. We've never done it, but we believe that it's hard because that's what we told ourselves or that's what somebody else said. So, first of all, we're going to dispel the myths. Writing a book is easy. If you have a splinter in your brain, add a qualifier. Writing a book is easy, one step at a time.
Right.
Writing a book is easy with coaching, accountability, and support. And so, see, when I add those qualifiers, the game
Yeah.
changes. It's like, oh, if I have somebody walk me through the process, maybe it is easier because
Yep.
I don't know. So that's the first thing, is work on your mindset. Writing a book is easy. And then give yourself permission to dream and
Yeah.
see yourself on the other side of the book. Take that moment when the doorbell rings and that box is on your step and you open it and there is your book in your hand. Give
Mm.
yourself permission to have that moment, because what we see, we will draw ourselves towards.
I love it. I love it. And it's so true. Writing a book is literally just one word at a time. That's it. You start nice and small. And I remember I would just do half a chapter, or, a couple of pages a day, that kind of thing. You just bite it in little nibbles. And then after a while, you're like, wow. I mean, look at these things. I mean, they're huge, 400 plus pages. But this is what you can do through Joanna's program. It's amazing. I love what you do. I wish we had time to talk more about this, but you are offering a free book publishing training
Yes.
exclusively for Turley Talkers. It's October 18th.
Yes, October 18th at 3 o'clock Eastern time. The link is right below publishandgo.com/Turley. So mark your calendars, get registered. When you register, confirm your email so you can get the sign-on link. And I'm really excited about this because it starts, getting your dreams, bringing your dreams to life starts one step at a time. And once you just take that one little step, click the link, show up, start learning, start educating yourself. You don't have to shut your whole life down to get a book done. You can get it done very quickly and take care of your family and take care of your job and all your responsibilities at the same time.
There's never an ideal time, right? That's the huge thing. There's never a time where, okay, all the distractions are gone and now I could just focus writing a book. No, that doesn't exist.
Correct. We all, it's never going to happen that you wake up and say, okay, today, maybe I'll have some free time.
Today's the day.
Yeah, no, I think it was E.B. White that said, the author of Charlotte's Web, he said, the writer who waits for the ideal time to write a book will die without ever getting a word on the page. So don't wait. Take
so
action.
True.
Click the link below, and then I will teach you everything you need to know to get your book done as quickly as possible.
Gang, you're going to love it. And Joanna, she ain't just preaching to you. Look, I mean, she's showing you. This is what she does. It's absolutely, there's a library right there of Turley Talkers. And that's only half complete. I mean, she's got tons more in the works. You heard it, gang. October 18th, 3 p.m. Eastern. You are going to love this free training. You're going to learn how to get your book out there and make a difference in this battle of ideas. So just click on the link below, secure your spot right now. Joanna, I love you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Turley. We'll see you then.
See you.